Now let's get the user answer and store it in a variable. So user answer. Then we're going to use an input. Let's break a line here and write type the number of the correct answer. So in this case, the user is going to reply 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then we're going to use it as an index of the answers list. So we don't want the number, we want the actual answer so we can compare with the correct answer. So let's assign a value to this variable again. So user answer. And now let's get the answers list. And let's use the user answer converted to integer as the index. But the problem is the first element of the list, it's not the index 1, it's index 0. So we're gonna have to subtract 1 from the user's answer. So if the user answers 1, then we're gonna get the index 0, which is going to be 2014 in this case, which is exactly what we want, so we can compare with the correct answer. Now let's see if user answer is the same as the correct answer. In this case, we can just print congratulations, you answered correctly. Let's also include the correct answer here, because I think it's better. I'm just gonna copy this to use it down here. So we're gonna print this text if the user answer is the same as the correct answer. Otherwise, so let's just use an else here. We're gonna print sorry. Then let's print the user answer. Let's say the correct answer is 2014 and the user just replied 2011. So the message will be, sorry, 2011 is incorrect. The correct answer is, and now we can concatenate it with the correct answer. Now before we end the game, what we need to do is use our end game variable to see if we should keep playing or not. So input, another line break, and then let's write press enter to play again, or type quit to quit the game. Let's convert this to lowercase, just so we don't have problems if the user has the caps lock on, for example. So if he types quit with capital letters, this is going to make no difference. We're gonna have quit in lowercase, which is exactly what we are testing in this while loop. So if he types quit, then we're going to end this game. So we're gonna jump out of this loop. And in the end, let's print thanks for playing. We can still make it better, but let's see what we have so far. In which country is Tallinn located? I have no idea, but I'm just gonna try number 1. Well, I'm lucky today. Congratulations, you answered correctly. The correct answer was Estonia. Really cool. Let's press enter and see if we can play again. Okay, let's try 3. And now we have a different message. Sorry, Family Guy is incorrect. The correct answer is South Park. This is really cool, but we still have a few things to improve here. So let's just quit and see if this is working. Now we have the message thanks for playing and we quit the game. We still have some data validation to do here, but first let's do something to keep the user's score. So in the beginning of the game, let's create 2 variables. One called score correct and let's also have a score incorrect, which is also going to be 0. Let's copy this. So if the user types the correct answer, inside this if statement, we are going to increment the score correct variable. Otherwise, if the user has the wrong answer, we are going to increment the score incorrect variable. So before asking if he wants to play again, let's show the score. We can do something cool here to improve the visibility. So let's just use some symbols like this. And in the end as well. And here, let's print your score is. So now let's print the score correct, which should be converted to string, so we can concatenate with this other string here. And let's do the same thing for the incorrect answers. So score incorrect. Let's see what we got so far. I have no idea, but let's try 2. So Bliss is incorrect. The correct answer is Luna. Okay, and now I have this cool score here. Let's try again. Let's press enter. Let's try 4. This is incorrect again. And now we are keeping score. So we're almost done here, but there is one problem because we didn't validate the user input. So if I try like a letter, like A, or I type a number that is greater than the list length, like 5, we're gonna have problems here. Let's make a test. Let's try 5. Then, as you can see, we have an error. So we need to validate this. So in order to validate this, at the beginning of each round, let's create a variable called valid answer, which is going to be false until we can validate it. So before getting the user's answer, let's create a while loop and type while valid answer equals false. Let's go inside this loop and let's stay here forever until we can validate the answer. So inside here, the first thing we're gonna do is get the user answer. Then let's use a try statement to convert this into an integer. If the user types a letter, we won't be able to convert it to an integer. so we can handle this error instead of quitting the game like happened here. So let's try to get the user answer and convert it to string. I'm sorry, to integer. So if this works, great. If it doesn't work, let's put an except statement. And then let's print invalid answer. Use only numbers. If we can convert the answer into an integer, we still have to check if we have a valid number. So let's start an if statement. Let's type if user answer, which at this point is already an integer. So we can do if use answer is greater than the length of the answers list. So if we have 4 answers, the user can't type a number greater than 4. We should also check if the user answer is greater than 0, because 0 is also going to be a problem. Since we're doing -1 here, this is going to get the last answer, which is not what we want. So the user answer has to be from 1 until the length of this list. So let's include an OR. And if the user answer is less than or equal to 0, we also have a problem. So if this happens, we're just going to print invalid answer. If we go inside the else statement, it means that the answer is valid. So we can just change the value of the valid answer variable. So let's turn it to true. And then when we go back to this loop again, this is going to return false, and we are going to jump out of this loop. So now we are validating our data. Let's see if this is working. And now let's try a letter. So we don't have that error again. We only have a message saying invalid answer, use only numbers. So let's try a negative number. And it's telling us that this is an invalid answer. This is because of this OR, user answer is less than or equal to 0. So let's try 0, same thing. Let's try 5, same thing. So we don't have errors in our program. Now let's try 4. Okay, so now we have our game working. So I know this was a lot of work, but I hope you had fun. And as usual, if you have any questions, just leave it in the Q&A section. I'll see you in the next video.